It's good to have the Democrat shutdown ended and the pain, the suffering that went on for way too long finally be over. And now to see the House back doing its business. And of course, we missed a few weeks, and so we're making up for lost time. We have a very robust schedule this week. As you can see, full 5-day work week. We're going to be working and having some late night votes. Today we have 3 vote series going into the night, and our members have rolled up their sleeves and are ready to get back to work too. The committees are going to be meeting into the night this week and beyond to catch up and get back to focusing on those issues that we've been fighting for this entire Congress, and that is fighting for those families who have been struggling under the failed Biden agenda. All we saw under the Biden and Democrat agenda was higher costs for families, higher inflation, higher interest rates, open borders, chaos around the world. And President Trump has reversed that quickly. As you look at all of the things that this president has done, working with this Congress, we have been focused on fixing the problems that Biden created and then really setting a new course, getting this country back on track, lowering costs for families. You heard Chairman Guthrie and Congressman Begich talk about this great energy agenda that we're continuing to deliver on. Of course, in the working families tax cut. So we had a lot of provisions in that bill. In fact, that Congressman Begich himself brought forward to open up areas in Alaska. I walked the Alaskan pipeline in Section 1002 of the North Slope, and to see all of the ability to produce energy in America that had been shut down under Joe Biden. We couldn't even produce the energy we know we have here in America because of stupid policies by the Biden administration. And we've been reversing that. Many of those provisions that Congressman Begich campaigned on, he already delivered on in the working families tax cut, but there's more to do. And so we're bringing some of those bills to the floor this week. You're going to see the Department of Interior probably this week, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, roll out their 5-year leasing plan for the Gulf of America. Again, something that President Biden shut down that drove investment to foreign countries. We saw billions of dollars of energy investment moving to foreign countries because Biden shut down America. Well, America's opened up for business again. And that means more jobs here in America, but really importantly for families, lower energy costs. And energy costs affect everything that we do. When you go to the grocery store, lower energy costs mean lower food costs for families. And so we're going to keep delivering on that agenda. Obviously, this week, it's going to be a very aggressive schedule, and we're going to continue to move bills in the future. Something else the Democrats broke, we talked about this a lot during the shutdown here at this podium, and that is the healthcare crisis in America. The current law in healthcare is the Affordable Care Act. I think everybody would recognize it's unaffordable for millions of American families. And yet they have dumped more families into that plan, and the cost increase are evident. 80% increase in costs for families since Obamacare passed. And yet, as the Affordable Care Act has failed to work for families, Democrats continue to try to shove hundreds of billions of dollars more into that failed program and not giving relief to families, but giving COVID subsidies to insurance companies. That's what Democrats were fighting for. You saw President Trump today saying one of the things we want to do as Republicans is give those tax credits to families, not to insurance companies like Democrats want to do, but to give it to families. We've been working before the shutdown with our 3 relevant committees, Chairman Guthrie's committee in Energy and Commerce, Chairman Jason Smith in Ways and Means, and Chairman Wahlberg over in Education and Workforce. The 3 committees that work on healthcare policy to focus on legislation that would actually lower costs for families and give families options so they're not trapped in the Unaffordable Care Act policies that drive up their premiums. And so we've brought bills. We had some of those we talked about in the working families tax cuts that didn't make it all the way through the process. We're going to be coming back to that. We moved PBM reform last year, very bipartisan bill that Chuck Schumer sat on because he and Democrats don't want to lower costs for families. We do. And we're going to keep bringing those bills over the next few months. We're working with all of our members. We talked about it again today in conference, but we've been working on it for months. We've been bringing bills to the floor, and Democrats, sadly, have walked away from this because all they want to do is force people into unaffordable products. The Unaffordable Care Act, they want families to have to pay more in premiums because they want a single payer government-run healthcare system. It has failed the American people, and they deserve better, and we're going to deliver better for American families. And finally, today we released the calendar for next year, so I know you're all interested in what that's going to be. We're going to have a very busy agenda next year. We're going to continue to deliver here in this Congress for American families. We've got a lot to do this year, and we're going to be doing a lot more this year. But we're also going to have a very busy agenda next year. Democrats they're in disarray right now as a party, but they've got to decide. They're going to work with us here in this Congress to actually deliver for the American people. Are they going to continue to have, as the speaker talked about, that Trump derangement syndrome? All they do is wake up every day and say, how can they oppose Donald Trump, no matter what he wants to do? When Donald Trump wants to help families, all they do is wake up and say, what is he doing? And they try to do the opposite because the radical Mandami wing of the party just wants to fight President Trump. Well, that's not where America is. America wants to get results. America believes in common sense. We're going to have a resolution Friday that says we stand up against socialism and the atrocities of it. It's not just the bad policies. It's led to murder all around the world where it's been tried. And they don't teach that history, unfortunately, enough in our schools. And so a lot of young people don't even get exposed to the atrocities of socialism. But we'll surely be talking about it and voting on it this Friday. A pretty easy vote, I think, for most people. Hopefully they say, no, we believe in freedom, opportunity, and we stand against socialism. We're going to have that opportunity this week as well, while we're also focusing on affordability. With that, I'm sure you may have a couple of questions for the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Thanks, sir.
Go ahead.
The president campaigned